The Celtics Talk podcast is presented by 24autogroup.com, 11 locations across New England.
You know what I kept wondering, thinking about during Friday night's game 81 of the regular season? I kept wondering what a lineup of Payton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Svi Mykhailiuk, Luke Kornet, and pick whoever you want. I mean, go with the starters from tonight, throw Xavier Tillman in there, O'Shea Brissett, whatever lineup you want to concoct. But let's say those are your sort of four building blocks with the Stay Ready group. How many games would they win in the Eastern Conference if they were the focal point of a team? You know, I do this because the East is, some would say, down this year. And maybe this is being disrespectful to the teams at the bottom. But watching tonight's game, you're like, wow, the energy and passion that these guys play with would probably serve them pretty well on a night-to-night basis. If there's one thing we've learned throughout the entirety of the 2023-24 season, but particularly on a night like this, is that there's no letdown, there's no mindset challenge when you throw these guys in the game because they're just excited to have their opportunity, and they go out there and they make the most of it. Payton Pritchard, 31 points, 11 assists, 23-9 of those coming in the first half. Payton Pritchard, who is on pace to lead the NBA in net rating. Payton Pritchard, who couldn't carve out a role last season on a overflowing guard depth chart, is going to play 82 games. He's going to lead the NBA in net rating. He's going to lead the NBA in offensive rating. He's going to lead the NBA. Well, he's not going to lead the NBA in games played because Buddy Hield is a weird situation and is going to end up playing like 86 games, even though that shouldn't be possible. But the IST and in-season trade made that possible for Buddy Hield. So shout out to Payton Pritchard, who continues to be just a beacon of positivity, both in the way he makes good things happen when he's on the court, but also just showing that perseverance pays off. The 4-year, $30 million extension that he signed at the start of the year looks like a bargain with every day that passes. And the Celtics are in a good spot because of how much they can lean on him. And the big question is just how much he'll play in the postseason. But you know one thing, after nights like this, Payton's going to be ready for that moment. And maybe everybody on that Celtics bench is going to be ready if their number is called at various points during this postseason run. What's up, everybody? Postgame Pod 81. Almost at the finish line. Coming to you after the Celtics smash the Charlotte Hornets, 131-98. Here's what we got coming up. Abby goes one-on-one with Payton Pritchard about the Stay Ready group's big night. Take you inside the locker room. You'll hear more from our crew. And at the very end, we try to break down the playoff picture, which, if you want an ice cream headache, go look at the Eastern Conference standings and try to figure out how it's going to all play out. It's just a mess. There's still, like, even if you're just trying to figure out who could potentially be in the playing game, there's like at least 4 teams that are still vying for or could fall to spot 7 and 8. And the Bulls and Hawks are locked in at 9-10, but it's going to be quite a waiting game because you're going to have to wait through Sunday to see who emerges and gets slotted in those spots, and then we're going to have to wait through 2 games of or 3 games technically of Eastern Conference play all the way to Friday night to figure out which team will be coming to Boston to open that 1-8 series. And I'd love to tell you that based on Friday's results that there's a team that's more likely than the other. I suspect when I look at Basketball Reference's updated potential of each team, it'll still be like 25% for all of them. So I try to break it down. There's, like, you could say Orlando's in a good spot because they lead their division. The Pacers have some tiebreakers, but I think Miami's got some tiebreakers too. So if somehow it ends up in a 4-way tie, it would be pure bedlam. But let's just hope that the way it all shakes down, everything just kind of falls into place. There will be no shortage of things to play for on Sunday, except for the Celtics, who probably will try out a very similar lineup. Just want to give a lot of credit to that group again. We just keep defaulting to the Stay Ready group, but it was the Stay Ready group and the essentially the Maine All-Stars. That's MAINE because I have to differentiate when I say Maine Celtics and the Maine Celtics. But what a story for Jordan Walsh, Neemias Queta, Drew Peterson, J.D. Davidson, all playing in the G League Championship for this week. They won up in Maine earlier in the week. They lost on Thursday night in Oklahoma City. They get up at 3:45, connect through Atlanta, get back at TD Garden, and get a chance to get some actual NBA game reps and show out. Everybody in that group played really well. Drew comes in and knocks down a couple threes, gets a dunk in transition off a nice JD pass. Neemias is throwing down dunks. JD's speeding up and down the court, and Jordan Walsh. I think when Abby interviewed him at halftime, he joked that it was nice to get something other than a dunk in an NBA game, getting his first three-pointer to fall. So hopefully they can all carry that momentum into Sunday's game and then go up to Maine on Monday night and figure out how to win a title and maybe set the tone for what's to come with the Boston Celtics. The most important part about Sunday, I should save this for the next game, look ahead later in the pod, but you all know the story. Mike Gorman Day. We're going to be a big old celebration. Hopefully that Stay Ready group and the Maine All-Stars, MAINE, go out there and show well and do their thing against the Wizards, and then we can just keep the focus on Mike, his 43 years, and all the good things that he has done for us here at NBC Sports Boston. All right, let's get to the rest of our postgame.
Payton, you put up a career-high 31 points in 3 quarters tonight. You leave any buckets for Sunday?
I hope so. So I'll be ready to go. But, yeah, we'll be ready. What
was your mindset and the mindset of that starting group coming in?
I was really just trying to make the right plays, take what they give me. I got some of my teammates going early, allowed me to get to my mid-range a little bit. But just taking what the defense gives me. The game's easy when you make it easy.
Also had 11 assists. But what does it say about that Stay Ready group? You guys come out here playing without your top guys. You get a 33-point win.
It just shows that, we got a lot of talent. We're deep. We got a lot of talent on the bench, and we're a real deep team. So,
how important can these experiences be heading into the postseason?
Very important. It just allows everybody to keep growing, working on their game. So when their opportunity comes, if it comes in the playoffs, they're ready for that.
Finally, for you, Payton, when you play on Sunday, you'll be the only Celtics player to appear in every game this season. What does that mean to you?
It just shows all the hard work I put in the summertime. Allows me to play every game. It's a long season, so your body has to prepare for that, and it just shows all the hard work.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, so Payton Pritchard again with the game-high 31 points. Scal with us now. Scal, of all the numbers, though, I like that last one the best that Abby brought up. You guys brought up on the broadcast, the only Celtic to appear in every single game this season if he plays on Sunday.
The guy, you know why? Because since the time he was in the 4th grade playing against 7th graders, he's played as hard as he possibly can. So he doesn't have to raise his level up. Guys like that have been doing it for so long and don't have to make adjustments when they get to the NBA because he's been working his tail off from day one. Those guys, their bodies he puts it on the line every night, so his body's built up to handle the 82.
Last of a dying breed, cut from a different cloth. We can say all them different cliches that you want to say about Payton Pritchard. He's a baller's baller. Like, if you know hoop and you love hoop and you come from the old school, and I hate to say that all the time because then you sound like the grumpy old man, but we're just saying that when you out there, if you're able to go, you play. This is what you did your whole life for free. Now you're getting paid for it to go out there and play at the highest level. And if you love to compete, you love to be out there. And you can see that from Payton Pritchard. He loves to be out there. He's always ready. And you guys coined him the Stay Ready group, right? And if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And that's Payton Pritchard to the T. No matter what, no situation, I'm proud of him for the fact that 82 games, we don't see that any longer. We do not see that any longer. I don't care if it's a guy coming off the bench Or if it's a starter, superstar, you damn sure don't see if they're a starter or superstar. But for a guy to go in and night out to be out there, man, I'm super happy for him to be able to do that. Like I said, cut from a different cloth than the last of a dying breed.
And again, Celtics win this game by 33 points, Scal. I mean, we also got an extended look at some other guys, some of the other young players here, Jordan Walsh, J.D. Davison. What did you just think of this, roster top to bottom, especially the guys that we don't oftentimes get a chance to see?
So we have to understand the makeup of the Boston Celtics with the star-driven league, star-heavy starting group. And overall, these guys are going to, the Celtics need to put a lot of energy, effort into their development. You don't know what's going to happen with a guy like Luke Cornett or a Sam Hauser, or if they have to make moves to cut salary because they already have their core and what they make. So the Celtics put a lot into these guys, and you could tell. I think Jordan Walsh, his shot looks so much better. J.D. Davison looks like a more prolific scorer. Queta looks like a guy that maybe there's a world in which if Cornette goes out and gets paid and goes somewhere else, Queta could be the guy that fills in that role and eventually builds up to what, Cornette wasn't what we see right now, 2 years ago when he got here. I guess it'd be 3 seasons ago. So, all these things take time, and I think you could tell that they draft the guy, they develop guys, and I really believe that they think in their mind, if we can develop these guys, we can use these guys, especially in a regular season where maybe Drew Holiday doesn't play back-to-backs sometime in the future. Maybe some of our other guys don't play back-to-backs, and you got to save them. And for the long haul, the Celtics got guys, ready, and the Stay Ready group ready to go.
Payton's made tremendous strides this season. Another solid performance out there. Obviously, without the top 6, just really put it all together this year. Just overall, what have you seen in sense of his growth throughout the course of the regular season?
Just being a complete player from the standpoint of every game is going to be different, and he affects the game in many different ways. So he's obviously, having a consistent role for an entire season is really beneficial, which I think this is the one, it's the first time he's had that, where each and every night exactly, when he's playing, where he's playing, and kind of what the potential is. And so I think a little bit of that, and then every night it could be different. It could be shooting, it could be ball handling, it could be defense, it could be rebounding, and then he really takes pride in game management, end of quarters, start of quarters, scanning the floor. So he's it's been really good to watch him play.
Payton, career high 31 for you through 3. Was there any kind of push for you to want to stay in there and maybe add to that?
Nah, not at all. I'm not really in, stat chasing. I think eventually in my career I'll get another opportunity and I'll pass it then.
What means more to you, the 31 points or the 11 assists?
The balance of both, I think. The taking what the defense gives me, hitting my spots when they're open, and getting my teammates involved. I think I ended up with 5 assists in the first quarter, so everybody was getting the shot up and getting everybody comfortable. So it wasn't just I'm had ball dominant the whole time. So I was proud of that.
Joe mentioned that you having a consistent role this season has been helpful to you in your performance, to know that you're going to get a certain amount of minutes every night. How has that kind of impacted your ability to be consistent?
I think it definitely helps a lot. I mean, for any player, when you get in spot minutes, it's tough. You don't know when it's going to come. When you do get the minutes, what is your role out there? What are you being put out there for? And I think in the past, a lot of the time, it wasn't necessary for me to be a point guard or even a playmaker. It was really a come in, try to hit some threes and bring energy defensively, the big rebound and stuff like that. So, I think my role has definitely grown a little bit this year, and with that, I've grown and been better at playmaking and just making the game easy for myself, but also my teammates.
And do you feel like you're at your best when you're playmaking, when you're running a bench unit, that you're kind of telling everyone where to go and kind of running the show?
I think it's something that I'm going to continue working on, and hopefully by the time my career is over, that's where I want to be the best at, and being a true point guard, and that's where I kind of want to hang my hat on. But it's definitely a process, and I'm gonna keep working on getting better at that.
Thank you.
Hey Payton, how you doing?
How you doing?
To see Neemi go from the start of the season get those minutes, work hard in the G League. Now that G League team's in the finals, and then earn the standard contract. What's it been like from a teammate's perspective to sort of see his growth throughout the year?
No, I love Neemi. I've been a fan since day one. I actually did draft workouts with him my junior year of college, and I ended up going back. So I've been a fan of him since then. Good kid, works really hard, and I think he has so much potential. I mean, he's a great rebounder, has great hands. He finishes well, so he has a definitely bright future, and we're going to stay on him to stay working, and he wants to be good himself. So I
was going to ask, where does he rank on the most fun to throw a lob to on this team?
He's up there. He might be one. I mean, we got a couple. I mean, KP will go get him. Even Luke will go get him too. So.
Payton, kind of along those lines, a bunch of the guys who have been part of Maine's finals run got some run in there together. What did you notice about the chemistry among those guys?
I mean, it just shows why they're in the championship in the G League. Jordan, JD, Neemi, Drew, they all tremendous players, getting better every time I see them. So eventually they'll be ready to, take that next step in their careers.
We talked about it on the floor, but playing in every game this season, how gratifying is that after the ups and downs and the infrequent playing time?
It's definitely a big accomplishment for me. Like I said before, to play 82 games is tough, but through the summer, the work I put in to get my body ready for that. So, but also just the journey of me, last year, my second year of times where I didn't play at all, and how frustrating that is, and how much that hurt at times, but it just fueled me to keep working. And for this year to come and play 82 games and be a part of the the best team in the NBA and trying to do something special is definitely feels good.
How cool would it be to get the first G League title for Maine?
It would be really cool. All the guys put in the work during the whole year for one goal and one goal only, that was to win this championship, and we're just one win away at this point. So we're pretty confident about it, and we're just going to go about it like any other day and just try and bring on and win our way.
As far as the rest of the team goes, Chris, anything else impress you? I mean, you've seen Luke Cornett continue to improve every single year that he's been here. Putting up the double-double tonight. O'Shea Brissett is a monster on the boards, just relentless when it comes to loose balls.
I like seeing the younger guys. Drew Peterson getting a chance to get out there, make a couple shots, throw down a dunk. JD getting a chance to show his growth. There's going to be mistakes along the way, but that speed is legit. And I like this little confidence boost these guys can get from that. You go from the focus on the Maine Celtics and trying to win a G League championship, and sure, you're tired, but you get this big stage, and now you get to go back up there and try to play for a title and come back and join for this title run. So it's got to be it's a great time for those guys, and they're getting so much experience right now that will benefit them down the road.
When is their championship game?
Monday night.
Monday night. So they're going to play 3 games in 4 nights.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 4 and 5 even too, because if they play Sunday. Yeah. All right, here are the final scores of the 3 most relevant games here in the Eastern Conference. Okay, the Heat, the Sixers, the Cavs, all winning, which means the Magic and the Pacers lost tonight. So the standings.
Break it down for me, Giles.
At the moment. And, Milwaukee lost as well. So you got the Bucks and Knicks tied. Cavs seem like they're pretty solid at 4. Am I right in saying that? They seem pretty solid there.
You would think, but what if
they can't drop? They can't drop below 4.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah, they can't drop below 4.
So the Magic, Pacers, and Sixers all have the same record, but the Magic have the tiebreakers. You read up a little more on this, so please take it.
I didn't mean to put you in a tough spot. What jumped out to me when I started crunching the numbers, and obviously there's that 3-way tie at the bottom there, is that you start looking at potential tiebreakers. The Magic as a division leader, because Philly is not going to win the Atlantic Division, and who was the other team? Indy. Because Milwaukee's ahead of them, will not win their division. So the Magic have the 3-way tiebreaker potential there, so they're in a better spot. I do believe they own a lot of the head-to-head tiebreakers as well. So ultimately it comes down to, we can obsess about all the this and that. We're just going to have to wait till Sunday and see how it plays out and see which tiebreakers come into play. But the fact of the matter is, there's 3 teams still available to fall into that 6, 7, 8 spots, and we're not a whole lot closer to figuring that out. Up next, Game 82, baby. Yep, we're at the finish line. We've made it. Feels like the Celtics have had the number 1 seed locked up since, I don't know, like 3 months ago. Probably not really a stretch based on how good they were. It'll be nice for them to have some motivation to ramp back up. But before we even start worrying about the seedings in the Eastern Conference, before we even start worrying about who might emerge from those play-in games, I go back to it. Sunday is all about Mike Gorman. Now, here's the best part of it all. We get to celebrate Mike. From the halftime ceremony to everything that's going to run in the arena to some special guests on hand. I'm sure we're going to bring a lot of it to you on TV. You'll see a lot of it on social media. But Mike gets to call first-round games. So whatever games end up on NBC Sports Boston, there's always a chance we don't have them all based on some national exclusives. But let's hope we have every game from the first round, and Mike will be on the call for those games, and so we'll still get to hear another batch of Celtics games. So he doesn't have to worry about saying his ultimate goodbye. He just gets to be toasted and celebrated for everything he's meant here. And I'm just going to continue to say it at every possible opportunity I get. If you're my age, if you're younger than me, if you are, you just watched this team religiously over the last 4 decades, Mike is sort of the voice of basketball. And I know that those a little bit older will probably defer to Johnny most, and even I can remember some of my earliest sports memories are definitely listening to Johnny on my radio in my bedroom, but it was always Mike and Tommy that were the ones for me that were the sort of the narrators of Boston basketball. And there's just a comfort to when you flip on that TV and it's Mike leading you through the game. And, as I told him the other day, I think he's just so good at what he does that his ability to let the game breathe, to know when to punctuate the moment, when to, bring the energy. His simplicity is what makes him so good at what he does, and his timing and all that. So I am ready to be an emotional wreck as we celebrate him getting to ride off into the sunset. But if you haven't already, go back, check out that podcast with Mike from, I'm going to blend all these days together, Wednesday. It was certainly it was a treat for me to sort of sit there and try to steer that, but it was really just Mike telling stories, and I'm really, really gracious for his time and for him just kind of rewinding to the very beginnings and how it all came to be. And I'm just lucky that all the breaks came his way that needed to, that the dominoes fell like they did, and we've all been rewarded with 43 years. We'll be here with you on that post-game pod. I'm sure, given that the game might not matter, we'll talk about Mike. We'll talk about how the seedings are all shaking out. And most importantly, we'll be talking about the playoffs that will start a week later. And let's get this thing going. Until then, go like, subscribe, check us out on the YouTube page. We'll catch you next time on the Celtics Talk Podcast.